guys, welcome to my channel Amongst Outs. If you're new here, my name is Samantha and I am a homeschooling mom of 4 kiddos. And today's video I have a curriculum update for you. So a couple of months ago I did a video on curriculum that we purchased and that we haven't used, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get rid of that curriculum or hold on to it a little bit longer just to see if maybe we could end up using it. So that is what this update is going to be about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So this here is my 6-year-old's Gather Round Homeschool Human Body student notebook. She is in the pre-reader level, and so I wanted to share this with you guys first because the contents of what's inside of this book is the reason why I have been able to pull out one of those curriculum books that I hadn't used and have now found a really great use for it. So I will link in the description below the video that talked about the curriculum that I purchased and hadn't used in case you're interested in watching that. But I'm also going to link below the flip through that I did of the student notebooks from Gather Round Homeschool so that you can see kind of what's inside of this and to get an idea of why I have started including the other curriculum. So let me just go ahead and show you guys. The book that I have is The Life for Beginners by Masterbooks. And I had got this initially to use with all 3 of my kids when I pulled them out of public school last year. So it would have been December 2019, January 2020. After that, Christmas break is when I pulled them out of public school and we started homeschooling. And this is the book the science book that I had gotten to use with all 3 of my kiddos. And we did a couple of pages in it and then just kind of never went back to it. And it just sat on my shelf and it had just been sitting there not being used, and I didn't think that I was going to ever get into it. I wasn't sure, but I didn't want to get rid of it just in case there was some use out of it. And thankfully I didn't get rid of it because it did end up coming in handy. So this book includes, like I said, it's God's Design Life for Beginners. This is really good to pair with your younger kiddos if you are doing the Masterbooks God Design Life. They have a level above this that you can use with your older kiddos, and then this one would pair with it, but it's meant for the younger kids. So these sections that are included in here are plants for beginners, the human body for beginners, and animals for beginners. And so when we started doing our human body unit, this particular unit is from year 1, and so the way that they do pre-reader this year in year 2 is a little bit different from how they did it in year 1. There are more pages in here, but generally what you're going to see is a coloring page. So this is where we talked about the brain, and so each lesson will start with a coloring page for the topic, and then the rest of the work just goes into other stuff. So like this would be kind of like the life cycle of a person. So then you have to sequence the order, and then it goes into calendar, number practice, calendar practice, and then some, you can make, like, we didn't make the books out of this because she already has books that she's doing, but you could make books out of this for sight word practicing. And then there's always a part in here where they can draw a picture or dictate, and you can write out something favorite that they learned, or one of their favorite things that they did. And so let's see, that was all in lesson 4. And so then, like, I will take you into another one of the lessons. Like, here's lesson 6. This is it has a mosquito here for the coloring page. There's some reading practice, and then there was more reading practice here. And then this was the life cycle of a frog? I think this was the life cycle of a frog here that she did. And then there was more calendar practice that she knows that, so we just don't really do it out of this book. So as you can see, there isn't very much work that she's actually doing that pertains to the human body. And I considered printing her off the early reader, I think it is, but there's a huge difference between the pre-reader and the early reader, and she's not quite ready for the early reader. Not because of the reading. She's doing really well with her reading, but more of the writing. there's a lot more writing that's expected out of a student in the early reader from Gather Round, so I just haven't felt comfortable or felt that her readiness for that level yet. I think going into next school year, she'll probably get there because she is coming along really, really far in her writing skills, but she just isn't quite there for the early reader. So I remembered that I had this book, and so I pulled it out, and I just pulled out all of the pages in here that are about the human body. And so, yes, I am absolutely loving this science from Masterbooks. It is so good. So we do our unit together all as a whole, and because she isn't doing all like the calendar pages, she isn't doing that in here. And there's some other things that I'm just like not loving that are in like some of the activities that I just don't love that we just cross out and don't do. So that leaves her a lot of extra time, a lot of extra free time, while the other two are still working in their student book. So what we started doing was just pulling out these pages, and then I will like read this to her, and then we just go over here. And so like even though there's writing, it's all traced out, so we can read it together, and she can go in here and she can write out the words and read it while she's writing it. And this just seems more on her level. So I like that she's getting the vocabulary in this and being able to write it, but it has the tracing there for her because that's just where she's at right now. So that was for like the bones, and then here's another page where, like I said, we read this out together and we can go back and she can write it. And that's been really good for her. And so I have really loved that part of this curriculum. There's also lots of really fun coloring pages and different activities that she can do. I don't require her to do all of them, but I really like the writing, and I really like the reading and the writing of the vocabulary for us to do together, because she's not getting any of that out of the pre-reader book from Gather Round Homeschool. And so I think that these two have really paired well together, because it's worked out nicely, because every lesson or every part of the body that's included in this has also been a part in here. So they aren't like the same exact lessons and they don't correlate exactly, but I've been able to take the lessons out of here and make it work and fit into what we're doing with the Gather Round human body. So I thought that was just really awesome. And Gather Round is going to be coming out with a botany unit. I think it's in a couple months. I can't remember if it's the last unit of year 2 or, I mean, it's one of the last that we're already planning on getting that one and doing it over the summer. So I think that if I do also go ahead and print her out the pre-reader for that, I haven't, because it's not out yet, I don't know if she will do early reader or the pre-reader yet. But I do love that this does also have the plant for beginners, because I'm pretty sure just as easy and as seamlessly as I was able to pair the human body with the human body Gather Round unit, I can do the same for the plant. So if you do already have this book on hand and you plan on doing the Gather Round units, definitely use them together. But if you don't use Gather Round at all and you're looking for a good science curriculum, now that I've actually gotten into this book and really using it and using it one-on-one with my 6-year-old, I appreciate it a lot more than I did when I was trying to use it with all 3 of my kids. Being one-on-one with her and actually, getting into it and having the conversation with her, and again doing those vocabularies together and the activities, it's a really, really good curriculum. And it's leveled for kinder through 2nd grade. And I'm sure you can give or take on either end of that on your kiddos, depending on what their level is. But I just wanted to read back here what all it says so that you can have a better idea of what all is included. So this is what it says for the human body. Discover the human body is an incredibly complex wonder. Students focus on the amazing functions of each system and understand that they are created in God's image. And then for plants, explore the amazing variety of plants that God created. Children love learning about the parts of plants and flowers and how plants get energy and grow. And then for the animals, even though I don't necessarily have plans on using the animals, but we'll see. There's no telling, I might use it. But it says, adventure into the animal kingdom God created. How animals are designed to be unique, from cuddly mammals and slimy frogs to jellyfish, butterflies, and bacteria. And then it says a complete life science curriculum for K through second graders. The lessons feature beautiful color pictures, age-appropriate activities, worksheets, scripture learning, writing practice, and more. Fun and easy to use, the God's Design series for beginners curriculum is ideal for anyone who wants their children to understand creation from a solidly biblical basis. And so, yes, I have been loving this. I've been loving the human body part of it. And again, we're going to more than likely, pair this with the Gather Around Botany unit for my 6-year-old. So, like I said, if you are looking for a really good biblically sound science unit, definitely check out the Masterbooks. This is the Life for Beginners, but they have under the God's Design, they have all different sorts of science curricula, and they also have the one that is like just life, or the physical world, chemistry, that isn't for beginners. So I really like that you can get the for beginner line and the older line and still kind of make them fit together and be able to do lessons with all of your kids if that's what you're looking to do. So there you have it, guys. That is the science curriculum update that I have for the God's Design Life for Beginners by Masterbooks. We are really enjoying using it this way, and like I have already mentioned too many times in this video, if you're looking for a good science curriculum, definitely check it out. I'm glad that I went ahead and pulled it off the bookshelf and decided to use it with my 6-year-old because it's working out wonderfully for her, and we are really enjoying it together. So that is all that I have for you guys in today's video. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, please hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!